What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and this might be one of the biggest L's for mainstream media we've seen in a very, very, very long time, and I'm here for it. I'm happy for it, because there is a lot I've spoken about on this channel about various streaming services or all these other things. Everybody wants you to pay them more money for special content, unique content. I understand it. One day, I would like to provide additional premium content to diversify my earnings, but you have to actually have a product people want. Part of the reason I haven't provided additional content is because I'm still trying to figure out what it would even be, since I put everything out, for free anyway, the way it is. By the way, if you haven't yet, if you're on YouTube, Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, please do take this opportunity to subscribe. CNN Plus was an app that they spent something like $100 million on and abandoned just weeks after launching it because of absolutely embarrassingly low numbers. Warner Brothers Discovery is shutting down CNN Plus after new streaming service struggled to attract viewers, according to a new report. Essentially, what CNN found was that people were unwilling to pay money to watch CNN. Brian Stelter tweeting out, here, let me find, there's a lot of dancing on his grave here, which is kind of hilarious, but breaking. CNN Plus, the streaming service that was hyped as one of the most significant developments in the history of CNN, will shut down on April 30th, just 1 month after it launched. Here's our initial story. And you see everyone in here just memeing the guy to oblivion. This was actually bet 30 days ago. What a sad day for the Brian Stelter fan club. This is amazing news. Finally, you're reporting on something that is true and worth celebrating. Why doesn't anyone have respect for Brian Stelter? He's like one of the most honest and unbiased reporters. Ratioed into oblivion. If no one watched the service, why would anyone want to read a multi-part series of stories about its failure? That's actually a great point. Why would CNN, in true CNN fashion, will publish a multi-part series, a co-authored piece about their own failures, a harsh reality, truly, for actual employees of CNN. No, they aren't a news agency. They've never been a news agency. They are a propaganda outlet that gets their talking points from, well, Now, if you look at, I don't even understand. You see Jeremy Barr here, who works for the Bezos Post. CNN Plus is, quote, shockingly shutting down already. A veteran producer tells me it's just a complete shock across the network. I think we all knew some sort of reimagining was coming, but not a total scuttling of the ship. They blew $100 million and no one cared. They had something like less than 10,000 viewers. More people will watch this video in the first hour than that. Shockingly, who's shocked? It was the worst idea I'd ever heard of. Shockingly, in quotations. Sounds like folks in the media are really disconnected from reality. Why are you shocked? Everybody in the comments saying, thought this was satire at first. I mean, everybody, this is what is so great about this. It's just showing that, the media is so disconnected from reality. And this is like one of those cases where it's just on display for everyone to see. Logan Hall writing, it took CNN Plus 3 weeks and $100 million to realize the general public won't pay money to watch CNN. This report on the Daily Wire. Warner Brothers Discovery is reportedly shutting down CNN's new subscription streaming service, CNN Plus, after the service experienced significant struggles in gaining any kind of audience whatsoever. Chris Licht of the incoming CEO of CNN sent a memo to staffers Thursday morning about an important meeting to be held at noon, and is at that time expected to inform staffers about the decision. Variety reported he's already told Andrew Morris, the CNN executive vice president who oversees the newly launched streaming video outlet, of the decision. CNBC reported last week that fewer than 10,000 people were using CNN Plus on a daily basis. Now, that might not actually matter if, if it's like a gym membership and there's like 100,000 people paying for it, but I doubt that's the case. The service had only had roughly 150,000 total subscribers, which was well short of the 2 million subscribers that the network had hoped to hit within the first few years. What's interesting is if you launched 150,000 in the first week, I don't think that it would be inconceivable to hit your 2 million mark over a year or two. What I'm assuming is they saw the writing on the wall that literally nobody was using it and that they were all going to eventually leave anyway. The decision is in line with Warner Brothers Discovery's broader direct-to-consumer strategy, he said in a statement. In a complex streaming market, consumers want simplicity and an all-in-one service. Oh, gee, remember when we had cable companies and DirecTV that did that? Which provides a better experience and more value than standalone offerings. This move comes after CNN's parent company, AT&T Warner Media, was taken over by Discovery earlier this month. I didn't know Discovery was that big. Blame bad timing, limited communications, misaligned incentives for how CNN and Discovery got strategically misaligned on such a massive product rollout, Axios reported. Fearing regulatory scrutiny, former Warner Media parent AT&T and Discovery avoided direct communications about CNN's strategy until the deal was officially closed. Ex-Warner Media CEO Jason Kilar, who left the company last week, pushed the launch of CNN Plus before CNN merged with Discovery. It's ahead of my expectations in terms of where the subscribers are, the engagement and the receptiveness we're getting in terms of people's response to the journalists of CNN Plus. I couldn't be more proud of that team. Discovery executives are reportedly focused on moving CNN away from some of the inflammatory editorializing that it's injected into cable news programming and instead wants the network to focus on hard news reporting. That's actually shocking. That's actually shocking to hear. Like, there's no way that this is possible. There's no way that that the current cast and crew of CNN news readers will ever be able to do this. CNN's brand took another hit this week when former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey said on Twitter Monday evening that he witnessed the far-left network try to falsify news by causing conflict during Ferguson riots back in 2014. Dorsey made the revelation in a response to a tweet from Miss Universe of Rock 2017 Sarah Abdali Idan, who said, "Even CNN sometimes sells false news. I know this from covering Iraq events in 2019. People need to understand every media is prone to either mistakes or deliberate corruption. Do your own investigation before believing what they're selling you." I mean, yes, it's, mistakes are understandable. Mistakes are everyone makes them. The problem with CNN and, to a lesser extent, but not immune from Fox News, is a pre-ascribed narrative. That's why so many people, like the people that were the target of CNN Plus, are already getting their news from people like Tim Pool or maybe even me on certain stories, or more left-leaning people that do what we do, that cover leftist topics. They aren't interested in downloading another app, and certainly not interested in paying more money. Dorsey made the revelation in response to the tweet. Dorsey responded, "I know this from being in the streets of Ferguson during the protests and watching them try to create conflict and then film it, causing the protesters to yell F CNN." And you have all sorts of CNN Plus is shutting down just weeks after launching. Even Quibi stuck it out for longer. The 10,000 daily users that were willing to pay $6 a month. I mean, think about the money. $100 million, as I don't know if that's the real number, if that's just being reported. It was going to take a very long time to make that up, $60,000 a month at a time. Not to mention the ongoing accruing debt that would have occurred as the app continued its function. Hey, the 10,000 daily users of CNN Plus, feel free to hit that red subscribe button down below. I work hard for you, and I don't come in with any pre-ascribed narrative. I'm always honest, and when I make mistakes, I own it. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.